So we had first on the agenda the Vision Quest update, and Stacy and several of the teachers are here, and Allison, whoever is going to make the presentation.
I'm going to actually let them talk because I missed the last adventure.
Well, our last adventure was at the Excellence in Student Achievement Committee meeting, which is chaired by Malik Evans, Mary Adams, and Cynthia Elliott, as well as a local parent that serves on that committee. And they requested that we come and present to them about the Vision Quest project. My colleague Vicki Buckley and I went and presented, and I think it was received extremely well. I would be cautiously optimistic by saying they seemed very interested, and specifically they wanted to know where the school would be located. John was kind enough to come with us and was able to speak a little bit to the involvement of the Southwest Common Council and their involvement and 19th Ward's involvement with the project as to finding a location. I said we were very, very motivated to move into this neighborhood. I spoke about our work with you guys since last summer, and John further explained about that. Malik wanted to know what was our timeline. I said I would say earliest would be fall 15 to open if we did it correctly. He said he absolutely agreed with that. He'd rather a slow process and make sure we do it correctly rather than doing it rushed and doing it halfway. Cynthia Elliott was also, I am willing to say, the most excited about a project that I've ever seen her excited about a project. And yes, sir.
A recent board meeting?
Yes, it's a subcommittee of the school board. The Excellence in Student Achievement Committee deals primarily with new educational initiatives. There was another presentation by a charter school and one about a teaching program at NUS.
So are these like open attendance meetings, or you have to like schedule in order to, I guess something like this was going on, and I just wanted to like sit and just listen to people talk?
Sure.
Yeah, you can go in and sit and talk. If you're not on the schedule, they may, you sit and listen, but maybe not talk.
Yeah. If you wanted to go, if you were willing to go to a meeting like this, you can find that all on the district's website underneath Board of Education tab. They will tell you exactly who's meeting when. They have a whole calendar. They really, especially with Van White as the president now, he is very, very interested in community input, and he would love to have you there, anybody that would be willing to be there. John, would you agree with my assessment that it was a very promising, positive meeting?
Yeah, I thought it went very well. We'll see where things go from here, but...
Yeah. And there we have new news for you that Ange can fill in on about the Dr. Vargas meeting.
I finally heard from his secretary, and they are ready to meet with us on April 21st at 5:30. And so, I don't know if you're available to come with us.
April 21st?
It's a Monday, yep.
I'll check it.
So we're,
our second meeting with
yeah,
Superintendent.
and we've been waiting
Okay.
since early December. I emailed Simone and asked for another meeting, and she just got back to me yesterday.
What time was the meeting?
5:30.
I would strongly encourage anybody that's sitting around this table right now that is interested in continuing to support the Vision Quest project to come with us. They are very interested in seeing our community involvement piece, and your voices are so much more important than our voices because you are the people in the neighborhood that they want to hear from.
When's the next college in August?
April, you can, if you're interested, we can send a sheet around with email contacts, and if you're interested, it's April 21st at 5:30 p.m. It'll be central office, 131 West Broad Street. I couldn't tell you exactly what conference room at this time. I don't believe they were specific.
No, they
It
weren't.
wasn't specific.
But we can, anybody who's interested, we can keep you in the loop of exactly what it is. And of course, we'll be letting John know. And we can actually put it up on
You
the
can put it up on location 19 and...
So that anybody in this community that is interested in seeing a really new dynamic school program come into this neighborhood, please do come and voice your opinion.
Especially if you know families with children in the neighborhood, feel free to hand out my contact information.
And I guess that's where we are right now. We're just going to be mobilizing support for this meeting, because I don't know if any of you have been privy to the district's proposed action plan that was put out, I want to say, last week. It is absolutely, it actually mentions, without mentioning by name, that they're looking to roll out several new schools within the next year or so. And they are really looking for projects like Vision Quest. So we would like to be one of those schools, and with community support, we can make it happen. Any questions, comments, concerns of where we are in this project at this time?
Have you had and gone any further in terms of looking for a particular site?
At this point, where we were at that meeting, I suggested, they said, well, have you looked at a site? And I said, well, right now, the site that would be most conducive to what our project entails with the outdoor space and the green space would be the former school number 16 building, which is currently, they moved all the students over to Freddie Thomas. And that would be the best building because of the proximity to Aberdeen Square Park and ability to expand and do what we needed to do. The only downside would be it would need significant renovations, as well as, especially to the performing facilities there. I've just been in love with the building since I worked there for quite a few years at 16 school as the music teacher. It's a great building, it's a great location, it's something we're deeply interested in. But again, it would take a lot of working, and as we go through the planning process, that location will become more clear. Also, the Rochester Teacher Center, we will be working with Dr. Susan Goodwin she's extended an offer to develop curriculum for our school that is culturally sensitive and diverse. And she said, when did she want us to start coming for that?
She just said to figure out something of how we want to split ourselves into a couple of small groups, and she will be willing to work with us.
And that's really important to us, is that to have that culturally responsive piece in our plan. So we're going to be starting that this spring. And of course, we do welcome anybody from the community, especially this council. If you're interested, like Stacy, I know couldn't make our last couple of meetings, but we do welcome parent involvement, because we do need your input on our curriculum, and as the development process goes along. Dr. Goodwin suggested that we have more community and parent input on it. Any other questions? Yay. We're pretty excited. Can't wait to see how this meeting goes with Dr. Vargas. We're kind of sitting in the catbird seat right now, because they're really motivated to open a school quick before all the charters come in and snatch up the children. So, there.
As a school that is focused highly on arts, intermingled with technology in our educational program, we really do need a program or a facility like 16 that has a place that we can coordinate a lot of our programs. Again, are very arts-centered programs.
If you haven't seen that proposal, it's up on location19.org.
As well as if you don't want to wade through 80 some odd pages of the document, I will be, it might be 80 some odd pages. I mentioned it like 15 times. If you don't want to wade through the document, I have an updated PowerPoint that I use at the Excellence in Student Achievement Committee that hits all the high notes, and I will be providing that to John to put up on location 19, so you can take a look at it at your leisure if you need a little light nighttime reading.
Okay.
And that's what
These
Jennifer,
folks
is
are involved with.
you want that separate building for?
Yes.
For the Vision Quest?
Yeah, they're looking for
Oh, yeah,
a site for
okay.
that school.
I got you, yeah,
And,
okay.
you know, the situation with that school right now is the board has agreed that the folks from 16 will go back there. It's still very much in the air as to who will be in charge of it when it comes back. That's one of the things, that's the gentleman right there you need to talk with, because he's the chair of the 19th Ward Schools Committee, which is kind of overseeing the schools in the 19th Ward, so John Lang, and, you know, I sit on that committee also, but they're trying to make sure that when the school comes back, the neighborhood has a good say on what goes on there, how it gets renovated and so forth, so.
I almost feel like Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing. But, yeah, I mean, the building itself of renovating it is hung up waiting for the assembly to pass the funding bill, which Vargas thought would be funded last year and passed last year. Hasn't been. And I encourage people, actually, the state legislature for a couple things, send email. One is to senators to do the busing. There's a proposal for busing that anybody within more than half a mile could be bused. It went through the assembly, it did not pass in the Senate. I have no idea why. But it'd be worthwhile writing to state senators to say, look at this bill. You can find the bill on Gantt's website. And it has the history of the bill. So just look under him, under legislation, under education, and it shows up in there. And then for all of them, in terms of the funding bill for the facilities modernization.
Yeah, and there's also the question of the approving short-distance busing, which is
Yeah,
up
that
for...
passed the assembly.
Did that pass the Assembly?
Did not pass the Senate.
Hasn't passed the Senate yet, okay.
Those are two separate bills?
Two separate, well, there's one busing one.
Right.
Allowing funding of half a mile or more rather than miles. And the second one is the facilities modernization fund. So one has passed the Assembly, got stalled in the Senate. The other hasn't done anything.
Okay.